Good morning, Bob. Happy Easter. How are we doing this day? Merry Easter to you too, Darth. Good morning, Scott. Moving from Merry Easter to cheers, huh? Yeah, Bite always likes it when the live streams start. He knows that comes with head scratches and kitty treats. And sometimes a brush too, huh? You like the brush. Gonna make you work for it a little bit here. I mean, you kind of need the exercise. So since the only thing I can really exercise is your jaw, that's how it's got to be sometimes. Oh, lid's closed. The cat's gone. All right, back to the Breck Show. Oh, it's been all right. It was a short week at work this week, so it was a 3-day week. Our lines did not come up well after the last shutdown. That was a mess, and we're just still kind of pulling our way out of it. Yeah, sorry to hear about your leg, Yvonne. That's no fun. Well, what we do during a shutdown is we do the maintenance on the machines that can't happen while the machines are running. And I don't know exactly what happened, but it's always rough coming back from a shutdown. But this one's been especially rough. Like I said, we still don't have everything 100%, but we're getting there. What do we got going on here? Well, speaking of work, a friend from work sent me something. Let's see what he sent me here. Oh, he sent me a nice Easter greeting. That's nice of him. He's a good guy. Hey, Eric, how are you? Let's see if I can show it to you. I don't want to show his name or anything here because that's not appropriate. Oh, there we go. That'll work. That's his message he sent to me. He's a good guy. Yeah, I don't think my cats would ever admit it, but I do think that they miss me when I leave for a while. Sometimes they give me the cold shoulder when I get back, but uh, Usually Bite warms up pretty quick and it doesn't take long for him to get all needy and all that. I'm up at 4:30 every morning for work, so I don't know. 5:30 seems like sleeping in, but sleeping in for me is on my days off. I usually sleep in till like 9 in the morning. I have to get up on at 8 on live stream day, but nine is a good day to get up, a good time to get up for me. Hey, you got 250 for your promo video. That's cool, Eric. No, I don't allow the cats in the bedroom. I don't want cat hair all over the bed. I have enough issues with allergies as it is without having the cat sleeping on my bed. And you know they would. They would be on my bed every day. I also don't let them into the guest bedroom for the same reason. So the two doors in the back of the hall there are always closed. Every once in a while, I'll leave the door open into my room, and they'll come in and explore a little bit, but I don't let them be in there long enough to get on the bed or try and sleep or anything. In fact, one time during a live stream, probably about a year ago, people noticed that Bite hadn't made an appearance, and it turns out that there was one point where I left the bedroom open, the door open, and he went in and was in the closet sleeping. Yeah, but the king size bed's not going to keep the cat fur away. Yeah, that was a nice little storm. Lately we've been getting a lot, and I don't know. I haven't lived in Texas long enough to know whether this is just something that happens every once in a while. But my limited experience, there isn't usually that much rain during the winter spring. The wet season is definitely is usually the summer. So we've gotten a lot of rain this winter, and seems like more than usual. But there's been an advantage because it has rained a number of times, and of course that's good for the garden. Is it warm now? Well, it's supposed to be in the 80s today. It's comfortable to be outside. I would say it's in the low 70s right now, but kind of overcast. Yeah, a little bit of humid. There's kind of a breeze coming in from the south, which means it's coming in off the Gulf. So you're always going to get a little bit of humidity with that. Yeah, it's pretty nice here. Oh, now I'm getting text messages again. Now he sent me another one. It's an image of the empty tomb, and it say, "May this Easter be a time of spiritual awakening and a renewal of your faith in God's promises. May this season resurrect positive things in your life, even as you enjoy this day and the sweetness that comes with it." Wishing you a blessed and happy Easter filled with love and grace in our risen Savior, Jesus Christ. Happy Easter. Yeah, I got some good friends at work. Well, at least if they're getting you up at 5:30, that's the least they can do is help with breakfast. Then, I mean, that's only fair. Hey, Doc, how are you? See that cat? I was talking about not wanting to have cat hair on the bed, and I was here like 10 minutes ago, and I still got like cat hair going up my nose here. Ugh. Happy Easter, Yvonne. I hope you feel better. Toast and eggs. That's a good breakfast. What kind of eggs? Scrambled, fried, hard boiled? I guess hard boiled would be the way to go. I guess on Easter, right? Over easy. Okay. We always did hard boiled for Easter. Sunny side up. That's good too. I like sunny side up. Bacon. You can't go wrong with maple bacon either. Yeah, I had a breakfast burrito for breakfast. I had to make some more pico de gallo sauce, so um, got that made last weekend. It's been actually sitting in the pot ever since. Omelets are good. I like omelets. Basted eggs. That sounds good too. You can serve Daddy breakfast too. I guess that's why Daddy was complicit in using Mommy's cell phone when Logan was sending messages at the beginning here. Yeah, that sounds like fun. Bubbles. You can have all sorts of fun with that. Yeah, I've had brisket. Oh, biscuit. Brisket? Or you mean brisket? I don't know. Or is that something? That sounds like an Elmer Fudd product. Whisket. Logan got a new car. That's cool. I never got a car for Christmas or for Easter or for Christmas either, for that matter. That was a dad joke, Eric. Not even out of high school yet, and you're already telling dad jokes. Yeah, I know to do otherwise might create an existential threat. Oh, nice. Diecast NASCAR. That sounds good. Omelet with Italian sausage, sauteed green pepper, green onions, and black pepper cheese. I don't know, Logan, what? If you say that's what, we're going to have problems here. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that one. See, the one we used to do is guess what? That's what. That was an absolutely hilarious joke when I was 4. What do you call a goat on a mountainside? I don't know. What do you call a goat on a mountainside? A hillbilly. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a bunch of dad jokes today. They're out walking a dog, and the dog isn't on a leash, and I guess the dog got attracted to one of the other neighbors' dogs that they're. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, the owners are going after it now. Neighbors across the street have a dog, and they got like a chain link fence so the dog can see in the front. And I guess the other neighbors are walking their dog with the dog off the leash. The dog saw the dog in the neighbor's yard and ran after it. Now I'm kind of hearing screaming. Oh yeah, we got an issue going on here. There's like 3 dogs out in the neighbor's yard across the street. Wish I could film that. The owner is trying to capture one of the little ones, but the little one's chasing the other 2 around. Okay, she got him. Wow. Never know what's going to happen on a live stream. That's the beauty of live streams. It's completely unpredictable. Anything could happen. Now the other 2 dogs are just kind of wandering around trying to figure out where'd the other dog go. Yeah, I don't really like shooting things though that show too much where I live. And in order to see that, you'd have to see the neighborhood. Actually, glad you asked that, Dot, because I have some pictures to show you here. And since I got this ability now to confiscate the screen and put other things on, let's do that. Let's see, I gotta remind myself how to do that here. There we go. All right, yeah, sorry, so I did, that was the cover photo I did from another angle. I basically kind of got here at the base of the eagle and did that. I thought that was kind of an interesting shot. That's the garden. Got the strawberries kind of in the foreground and the tomatoes in the background there. We can kind of zoom in a little bit on that. So the tomatoes are doing pretty good. The strawberries are doing all right. Saw Flash a little bit this morning. So she's out and about. She's kind of done with her hibernation phase right now. And then of course, that's close up just on the tomatoes. They all look nice and healthy. I mean, it's only been a week since I put them in the ground, so it's not like, I expected them to die. But, and then this is what I did You saw this part, I put in these hydrangeas, this hydrangea here in the middle, that one there, that's the original, but that's one of the new ones I put in. And these two things back here, another hydrangea, and that thing in the background there, that's one of the survivors from last year, I think. And then this is the other side of the yard, the other hydrangeas, and the other survivor, and then the two new ones I put in. So I don't know, there's a lot of leaf waste in there, but the plants look really nice. So, I'm very, very happy with how that all turned out. So I don't know. No, my throat's been was a little weird. Actually, I was sick a couple days last weekend. Not really sick, but I just didn't have a voice. For some reason, the last couple times I've been sick, that's all that happens. I don't have any other symptoms. I just lose my voice. I hope so. I hope to have a bumper crop at least of the tomatoes. I don't know. We'll see what happens with the strawberries. With me and gardening, it's try something, and if it works, then we do it again. And if it doesn't work, we don't. And so, the strawberries are going to be an experiment. And we'll just see what comes of it. Charlotte wants a goat, huh? Yeah, we're definitely past any possibility of snow or any deep freezes at this point. Well, I'm just hoping to get enough tomatoes this year where they actually make it in the house and I can use them. In the past, it's just been enough tomatoes where, they're, they pull them off the vine and pop them right into my mouth. Well, if I was to grow grapes, it wouldn't be for like making wine or anything. I'm not a wine drinker, but I do like grapes. But I don't know. That isn't really something I've really thought that much about. Yeah, I think I've seen that too, Gene, with the turtle on a skateboard. I don't think Flash would move that fast, though. I don't know. I don't know if sweet potatoes would thrive in Texas, but I'm not a sweet potato person. So, the one prerequisite is it's got to be something that I like. Well, I don't know. What did the grape say when it got squished? Did it whine? Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. That some of them are predictable. You can tell Uma Thurman's joke from Pulp Fiction. Uh, there was a mama potato or a mama tomato, a papa tomato, and a baby tomato, and the baby tomato was falling behind. The daddy squished it and said, "Ketchup." Well, I put tomatoes in the Picasso in the Picasso. No, I don't put tomatoes on Picassos. That's other people that do that. No, I put tomatoes in the pico de gallo sauce that I make. And so, yes, there is sort of tomatoes in my, but I could see it, I could see tomatoes like on hamburgers if they were big, the big beefsteak tomatoes. And I got some little tomatoes and I got some big ones this year. So we'll see how that all works out. Um, and the little ones, might just be for salads or, like I said, just pop in my mouth right off the vine. There's nothing better than a tomato right off the vine. Yeah, I guess we have our share of pollen, especially when around now when all the trees are starting to bud out. What do you call a boomerang that doesn't come back? A stick. That's true. The best jokes are ones that you can actually say, you know what? That's actually true. See, I wouldn't think that there would be sugar in ketchup, but I guess maybe there is. No, I think I've shown you my last couple of collections of rocks. I haven't been there now in a couple of weeks. Is it in German, Darth? Oh, the tree with arms. That's this thing here. That's just my incense burner. It looks like a little tree stump, and it's got like little mushrooms on the side of it. Truth is, I actually bought it for Jordan at one point because he started burning incense at one point when he was in his apartment, the one in Hollywood, and he just had like I don't know, he had like a little plate and something that he had it on, and I went and got that, and then by the time I got it, he got his own, so I just kept it. Why did the chicken cross the road? I don't know. Why did the chicken cross the road? Charlotte thinks it looks like a fairy house. Could be. Well, that would be the obvious answer, Lindex, but I'm guessing it was just following orders. Okay. Yeah, I guess. Starting to get the clocks pretty close now. No, it doesn't have gunpowder. It actually is a horn. Oh, that's right. It's Easter today and April Fool's tomorrow. I'll have to come up with a good joke for the for a video if I do one tomorrow. I got an idea for a video tomorrow, so that one's still a little slow. Yeah, we can do April Fool's jokes today if we want. I think it starts about 11:30 Texas time. It hits totality at about 1:30, and it'll be over, 2:33, something like that. I don't know. Well, I'm really concerned about it right now because right now they're predicting rain on that day. it's going to suck if the last opportunity to see a total eclipse maybe in my lifetime and it rains on that day. But I don't know. We'll see. It's still a week out. A lot can change. The cats have learned how to turn off the computer. All right. You're not paying enough attention to us. Stop talking to that guy on the screen there. Pay attention to us. Mm-mm. Look who came back. Yeah, well, I mean, it will still be noticeable because it'll still get dark. Yeah, I haven't heard specifically about Niagara Falls, but I've heard them saying expect to be like traffic conditions as people are chasing the eclipse. Yep, there's your cat again, the bite man. Well, I still plan on doing my rock display case, and that's going to happen at some point. Haven't really finalized. I gotta admit, I'm moving away from the pool. So I don't know. We'll have to kind of make that decision when we actually get to the right time, but I'm leaning maybe in that direction. Like I said, I'm going to see what happens this this summer and how much I miss it. Need your own glasses to look at an eclipse. That it seems like could be a little dangerous. I still don't have a pair of the eclipse viewing glasses, but I'm sure I'll find some in the next few days just to have them. Might buy just a couple pairs and maybe tape the lenses on the camera so we can use the camera and shoot video of it, assuming the weather cooperates. And right now, it doesn't look like it might. There would be an advantage to a hot tub because at least I could drain that in the summer. It'd be a lot easier to cover. There's a bat in your yard. That's a trip. I've been getting a lot of ever since I did that video on the bat colony in Huntsville, Texas. Um, I've been getting a lot of people like posting pictures of bats and stuff like that. Apparently, I've gotten into Facebook's algorithm, and they think I'm into bats, and so people having pictures of them holding on to bats, and they're actually cute little critters. I wouldn't mind having one as a pet. I don't think I'll need a high vantage point. I just need to uh, get a place where it isn't raining. Like I said, it's supposed to rain on the 8th, and I'm hoping that it doesn't. But we'll watch it. Rain tends to, they tend to start out with high predictions of rain, then as you get closer and closer, it gets lower and lower. So I'm kind of hoping that happens here. Fingers crossed. Having ladybugs there, huh? Yeah, I've been hearing people say that HEB has them. So That may be the way to go. Yeah, that sounds about right, Tracy. Sounds like you'll be somewhat off the beaten path, though. So yeah, it'll just be a partial for you. Oh yeah, I don't like it when the bugs get in the house. Bugs outside are fine, but yeah, the second they come in, it's open season. Except in the case where I found that tarantula. I have thought about a bat house too. I found plans online for one. That could happen at some point. I wouldn't mind having a bat house in the yard. Help with the bugs, right? That sounds like that year I was in the apartment and there was the infestation of the crickets. Remember that? And there was one spot right outside my front door because that's the place where management decided to put the bright security light. And so they were all attracted. So there was like millions and millions and millions, literally millions of cockroaches, crickets, and they were getting in the house. And I think I even have had one get like in the globe of the light fixture. Yeah, no vampire bats. Well, you count on it. If I build a bat house, I'll do a video on it. Hmm. Bathroom window every morning is full of ladybugs. Sounds like fun. Still, ladybugs are less gross than crickets, right? I remember my uncle used to have bats living in his attic, and every morning you'd hear him flipping and flopping across the floor to get to the exit. Haven't really heard a lot from my sister or family recently. I mean, we're doing some of the final affairs of my mom, so I've been talking to my brother-in-law a little bit, but haven't really talked much with my sister. Well, they've been talking about it. I don't know if they're going to actually do it. I know my brother-in-law is thinking about Montana. I don't know if it's dangerous having bats in the house. I'd definitely try and catch it and get it outside. Because see, there's all sorts of trees in my yard that I could put bat houses, both in the back and in the front. Their poop is also excellent for fertilizer. But say if I were to do a bat house, maybe put one up, see if anything happens with it, and if it does, then we'll put more up. I mean, once you get past the fear that people have of bats, bats are actually really good and beneficial. They eat their weight in insects like every night. Remember a couple of years ago at work, we had a bat get into the building, and I was actually on one of the production lines at the time, and it got inside the production line, was flying back and forth inside there. That was the strangest radio call I ever made to my boss. Yeah, can you come over to my line? There's a bat flying around here. We managed to catch it and get it outside. All right, Ron is making her YouTube debut. This is just my one of my patriotic T-shirts. I have been to the Winchester Mystery House, so I have a T-shirt there. Actually, my parents went and they got me the T-shirt, and then I went a few years later with Jordan on one of his vlogs. It was an interesting place. You ever get a chance, check that place out. I don't know if you all know the history of that, but basically, it's a house that belonged to the wife of the guy who invented the Winchester rifle, and she was convinced after he died that if she didn't continuously keep building on the house, that the spirits of the people who were killed by Winchester rifles would come after her. So she spent the rest of her life building on this house, and you got stairways that go nowhere, and hidden doors, and all sorts of crazy things. It's an interesting place, and journey through somebody's insanity. Oh, you're going to be on someone else's channel. Okay. Yeah, I guess I really haven't seen a live stream from Jeff in a while. There we go. We learned all about ladybugs. Such a vast wealth of knowledge in this group. Always can find someone that'll have an answer to something. Yeah, well, that's sometimes how it works. You do something, you think there's a causal relationship to something else, and you keep doing it. Maybe there's no connection at all, but you know that helps you get through. I guess that's all that matters, right? You think you'll have ice cream for lunch? I can't argue with that. That sounds pretty good. What do you think of ice cream for lunch, Pite? I bet you'd like ice cream, wouldn't you? Yeah, ice cream. You scream, we all scream for ice cream. I remember that. Is there really a bad time for ice cream? No, I don't think there is actually. Excuse you. There's Jeff. How you doing, buddy? They were just commenting a few minutes ago that you don't seem to do a lot of lives anymore. No, I didn't really think I would be as successful at this job as I have. I've gone so far in a very short time, and it kind of was an honor too, because when I first started with the job, I was told that there was this one person that I needed to kind of become friends with because she was the expert in the department, and she could help me you know become a successful person. And here I am 4 years later, I replaced her. She moved on, I got her position. So I have big shoes to fill. Black raspberry chocolate chip. I don't know about that. I'm not sure how that sounds to me. Sounds like it might be two things that would clash with each other, but it could be something that's really good too. I just have to try it. I just never would have thought of putting those two things together. All right. Well, there you go. Jeff may do a live stream today. Yeah, I think the job is always hiring. It's a big enough of a company that there's turnaround all the time. Always positions being advertised on the job board. Yeah, if the pool comes down, the trees go up, I think. Is your typing off or is it Logan on the phone again? Yeah, I've thought about what kind of trees I would want to get. It's probably going to be peach, peach tree, um, and I don't know, something else. They recommend in order to get a good harvest of trees or a good harvest of peaches that you have two trees so they can kind of sort of cross pollinate, all grown from the seeds of fruit you've eaten. That's kind of the best kind of. In my case, I'll start with trees that have already started. I'm not even sure what loose meat is. Oh, you're having a big Easter event today. Yeah, I suppose. I'm actually sort of surprised that you popped in at all. I would figure this would be a big day on in a church. Oh, moose meat in the lower 48. I guess got to find a moose. Starts with finding a moose, I guess. I don't know if there's any like butchers that just do, specialize in something like that. That or venison or something else. You never know. It's got to be somebody out there that would do it. I mean, I know they sell like bison, meat. Yeah, I think maybe Tracy's onto something. Maybe a butcher shop might not have it, but they might know where you can get it. No, I haven't really seen a whole lot of fruit trees in the neighborhood, so I don't know. Maybe it's something that people don't do, or I don't know. I remember seeing like moose when I was a kid. I think when we went to Yellowstone, or maybe Yosemite. It might have been one of those parks. Yeah, I bet you are, Jeff. Pineapple would be fun too, but I don't know how well it would do here. No, most of the recipes I've gotten from my mom that I've tried have been exactly how I remember them. In fact, what I tend to do then is that I use those recipes sometimes as a starting point and kind of augment things on my own. I know I do that with my mom's lasagna. Weather station's doing a good job. I'm very happy with it so far. It gives good data. All right, Jeff will be live about 1:45, and let's see, he's an hour behind us, so uh, that means he'll be starting in about 45 minutes. You're gonna steal all my audience, Jeff. I wouldn't eat enough avocados to make an avocado tree worth it. I know that the next door neighbors to my friend Beth, who you've met a couple times, um, had an avocado tree in their backyard, and this thing was massive, and it produced, probably hundreds of avocados a year. I I have, to my knowledge, never bought an avocado, so I don't see the demand. Once again, with things that I grow, it's got to be something that I like. Well, I mean, we got the pecan trees in the front yard, so I don't really see the point of going much beyond that. No, it may be something like apples, oranges, peaches, something I like. Oh, it's okay, Jeff. You start whenever you feel. You're the one that has other things going on here. Yeah, if I could grow a money tree, yeah, we'd be onto something there. I could retire. My mom used to do African violets. Did pretty well with them too, I believe. One down. Must be about the halfway mark. Yeah, I know everybody would want a handout. That is true. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that'd be so cool if that worked. It was their money tree, and then you pull a leaf off, put it in the ground, and it would start a new money tree. I know. When every time I do this, I end up with cat fur all over the place, but that's okay. He doesn't panic so much with the clocks anymore. First few days when the clocks were here and they'd go off, he didn't know what to do. He'd kind of freak out by it. They're all going at once. Yeah, I have a Samsung Galaxy. What is it? The S14, I think is what it is. I went to Pure Talk about 6 or 8 months ago. Dumped Verizon. I got tired of Verizon. Verizon was, just always, screwing me over. So I don't know. Got done with them. I've been hearing about Pure Talk a lot, so I decided I really like Pure Talk. Pure Talk's been good for me so far. I'm gonna put a greenhouse window in the kitchen. My mom had one of those. I've been not necessarily a window in my case. I've been thinking about building a greenhouse over my garden. That would definitely help protect the plants a little bit during the winter. Yeah, probably herbs would be great in a garden window. They tend to be small and it's right there in the kitchen with you. It's like, okay, I need some of that. Snip, snip, snip. Good to go. I used to have rosemary in the backyard in my house in California. It was funny. I needed rosemary for a recipe, and I went to one of these farmers market kind of places, and they had fresh rosemary still attached to the root ball. And so I cut off the couple pieces I want, planted the root ball, and it survived. I don't know about skylight windows too. It's just I've heard too many horror stories about them leaking and stuff like that. I don't know how you do it on an iPad. I know some devices. And maybe this would work too. You can cast video to another device. Uh, for instance, if I'm watching like something on my cell phone and I have my DVD player on, I can cast video that I'm watching from my cell phone to the DVD player and have it play on the big screen. You might be able to do that. Might want to look into that. Yeah, I definitely want to get one of the ones that doesn't leak. That would sort of be an important feature. And it would actually be nice. That's one of the only real criticisms I have of this house is there's not enough natural light in. In fact, if I could, what would be awesome is if I could run a couple skylights down there down the hall. Because I had to, I put you remember when I moved in, I put those lights in the hall in there because the ones they had just, it wasn't enough to light up the room. And I knew I wanted to have all my posters in there. And so I needed to have good light there so you could see all of it and you couldn't see everything, with the old ways. So, some natural skylights coming down through there would actually be really nice, but I don't know. The only, there's decent light here because there's two windows on either side of the front of the living room here going out in the front yard. And there's, sorry, everything's backwards here. There's this window here. There's a window behind the flag, which goes out into the backyard. And then there's also the window in the kitchen there. So there's like 5 windows in this area that, provide decent light in here. But even with that, I still have to have a light, above the fireplace to kind of light everything up. And I end up closing the windows. Sorry, it's backwards here. I end up closing this window and the one on the doors, so it doesn't wash out. It doesn't wash out the flag. Otherwise, you just see through the flag and see the windows behind it. I got to have it dark in the kitchen in order to make that work right. Oh, Tracy's checking out. Thanks for stopping in, Tracy. Good talking to you. What does a 40-pound mouse say to the cat? Here, kitty, kitty. Saw somebody once trained their African gray parrot to say that. That's true. I probably want to diffuse it somewhat before, because you're right. Most of those posters are like hand pulled screen print, and you're right. Sunlight will damage them. Yeah, and see, that would probably be an issue, Susan, because my understanding is the previous owners of this house replaced the roof a few years before I bought it. Apparently, they had some hail damage and had to replace it. You can imagine the kind of hailstones you have to get to have to replace a roof. We're probably talking at one point they had like baseball size hail coming down. But I've seen these like domes that they have on skylights where it kind of comes down, then you have like a dome on the bottom, and it kind of just diffuses the light outward. Your uncle had 2 macaws, and one used to tease the cat. How would you like to be teased by something that you would normally eat? Huh? What do you think? Would that be fun? Probably not, would it? Yeah, probably not. Kids have been watching birds out in the tree outside the window. I actually leave one of the blinds open about just a foot off the ground so Bite and Nibble can go look out in the front yard because they like watching the squirrels sometimes. I haven't used a smoker lately. No, I haven't really. Yeah, I can imagine it probably wouldn't be pretty for a skylight in a hailstorm. I've thought about getting a hummingbird feeder, but I've never actually seen hummingbirds in the yard. So, I don't know. I have plenty of other wildlife, though. I have all sorts of cool birds that visit. You know, I'm, I always have food out and for the squirrels and bird food in the feeder and water in the bird bath. So I like the fact that the birds come visit. Yeah, you need, and that would probably be the secret to protecting the posters too, would be to treat the thing with the ultraviolet light because it's the ultraviolet light that causes the damage. Cut off all the cords in the blind. He had an incident with a kitten. Yeah, I suppose that happens sometimes. Well, they seem to sell the feeders, but like I said, I've never seen a hummingbird in the yard, so if you build it, they will come, huh? Is that how it works? Good morning, Kimberly. Are you not going to fix one of the kitties because they can't handle being put under? That's a drag. I don't know if I've seen any rare birds. I've seen some interesting birds. I mean, I've every once in a while I see like hawks in the yard. I've seen that on more than one occasion. Owls. Been times where I was out in the pool in the evening and an owl flies right over my head. And I got one of those little birds of Central Texas things that they sell at the grocery store, and that helps me identify stuff. But there's still things I haven't been able to figure out what they are. Lack of oxygen. Okay, yeah, I mean that could be an issue. All right, you're grocery. Yeah, well, that's why you're here today, huh? They shut down for Easter. That was nice of them. I guarantee you, the place I work is running right now. In fact, I was hearing them say they were concerned that a bunch of people had already scheduled the day off for Easter, and they were concerned others were going to call in. It may be. I mean, hummingbirds are supposedly plentiful here, and I see a lot of people, um, have a lot of places sell the feeders. So I don't know. I love having hummingbird feeders in my house in California, but never had a whole lot of visitors. like it was said, maybe if I build it, they will come. I think the hummingbird feeder I had, you could just put sugar water in it and it would do fine, because the glass that was part of the jar was dyed red. I don't know. It might be fun to try. Happy Easter to you too, Connie. Yeah, mice are caused by bird feeders. Yeah, that's it exactly. Yeah, see, that's probably it too. You're the hoarder, but it's my bird feeder that's causing the problem. Actually, I'm a lot more tolerant of wildlife in the yard now than I ever was in California. Because at this point, the problem I had with wildlife in the house in California is I had the fish pond, and so I'd have possums in the backyard, and they'd go after the fish, and I had an egret that found my pond and would come in someday and clean my fish pond out. Yeah, you're a hoarder when you can lose your cat for a week. I don't know. There could be a food vlog coming up. I've said this before with cooking and restaurant vlogs. It's usually a spur of the moment thing. I don't usually say, in a week or two or three, I want to do a cooking vlog. It's usually I get up one morning and say, well, man, let's cook something. Let's do a vlog on that today. So cooking vlog can always pop up. Yeah, I suppose you could do the chicken wire thing. Oh, I like lasagna, but I've done several lasagnas. I've shown you my mom's lasagna. I think I did Elvis's lasagna, and I did that lasagna soup a few weeks ago. I just finished that up last weekend. That's good stuff. Logan just asked if shave or bald. Huh. Interesting. Why do you want to do that, Logan? It isn't growing enough. Well, it's just starting to grow now. Uh, so I did actually run the mower last weekend, both in the front and the backyard. Not so much to mow, but to vacuum up all the leaf waste. Because I got the three pecan trees in the front yard, and they lost all their leaves. And the big tree in the backyard, it's lost a lot of its, two of the trees in the backyard lost their leaves. And at least in the front yard, when the leaves fall on the ground, if the wind blows, it often blows it away. And so, it isn't as bad. But in the backyard, it's surrounded by the fence. So any leaves that fall in my backyard are stuck back there. Yeah, I mean, if I were to put a hummingbird feeder up, and see some success, I'd put more up. That's not an issue. I don't have a problem with that at all. He cuts his grass 3 to 4 times a week. I can't imagine doing that. At the peak of the summer, when the grass is growing the most, you gotta do it about every 2 weeks, or it gets out of hand. But 3 or 4 times a week, yeah, that's too much. I'm always amazed how the grass comes back here because it goes completely brown in the winter, but it's already starting to bounce back. Yeah, well, the issue with mowing the lawn here is it just gets so hot, and so it's miserable to be out when it's 100 degrees out, and 100% humidity, and it's like just walking out to the mower and you're dripping sweat. Plus the fact it's since there's a lot of property here, it takes a long time to mow it. It's what 100 feet from the front left side of my property on the front to the right side of my property on the front, and it's 30 feet from the curb to the house on this side, probably about 50 feet on this side, plus the backyard. It takes a good 3 hours to mow the front. Edging, mowing, cleaning up. Yeah, I mean I've done that too, but I'm generally not a person that likes to get up really early in the morning, and it takes a while after it gets dark for before it actually starts cooling off. Yeah, that's it. If it's so important that your grass be manicured to the point where it looks like a putting green, then he can do it. Yeah. I'm sure they won't appreciate. They won't have a problem with me going out at midnight, especially on a work night. Sunday night, 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. Yeah, on Monday morning out there. Yeah, nobody would ever have a problem with that. Yeah, I'm sure you probably do, Rhonda. You seem to have a lot of laws there. Yeah, I like the fact that it's that we're pretty free here in this part of Texas. I mean, everybody treats everybody else with respect, and so you don't have people that are really um, really rude and inconsiderate. The grass I have here seems to really kind of thrive in the heat as long as it gets plenty of water. And that's sort of been an issue in the last couple of years, what with all the drought stuff. But hopefully we're bouncing back from that a little bit. Yeah, see, that's crazy, Rhonda. If you're in the front yard talking to somebody and somebody else, I don't like laws that are subjective. That just gets out of control. Because then you also tend to get this tit for tat thing going on. Oh, you called the cops on me. I'm going to call the cops on you, and that just it doesn't help. It divides people, creates animosity and anger between people. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've kind of toured a little bit with some small bands, and they've played places too. Sometimes the cops show up, sometimes they don't. But just even if I didn't, even if I never intend to do it, I like the fact, like to know the fact that if I wanted to, I could. All right, so you could have a band playing in your backyard. You know the chief of police. You'll never take me alive, coppers. Yeah, we believe you. With customers and food fights. Of course they did. Yeah, I thought so, Rhonda. Doesn't matter. It's just a loaf of bread. It's the principle of the matter. I'll tell you, the kitchen cabinets may be back on the front burner again. Um, I haven't really said a whole lot about this, but I'm getting a little money from my mom. Um, and I know she was really disappointed that the whole thing fell through the first time. So we may move on the kitchen cabinet thing again. That could happen sooner rather than later. So stay tuned on that. I know my mom would dig the fact that I did that. In fact, there's even a history of it. When I got a little money when my grandmother passed away uh, back in early 2000s, and I used that to do some work on the house then too. Gene's checking out for church. Have a happy Easter, Gene. Good talking to you. Because I still would like to redo the cabinets in the kitchen, and it still bugs me the ones that are there. They look like they're dirty. There's supposedly a uh, a gem and mineral show coming to Waco in early May. I know because Kara and Chris at Gallery 11 are part of the Gem and Mineralogical Society of Waco or something like that, and it's them that's hosting the thing. And it's going to be a bunch of vendors at one of the local museums at the Lee Lockwood Museum, and I'm definitely going to go there on that. I think it's like on I don't know what it's in early May. It's the first Saturday and Sunday I think of May, which is let's see, okay, like the fourth and fifth. That sounds about right. And so yeah, I'm definitely headed there. Looking forward to getting some nice stuff. Last time I was in the shop, it turns out the guy who's the president of the Waco Gem and Mineralogical Society was in the store, and so I actually got to meet him. So that was kind of fun. They were excited about me meeting him because he's sort of a gem nerd like I am. I'm not as into the shaped things. In fact, there was a posting put on the Facebook page this morning of somebody taking a big giant red rock, and they said it was amethyst. I don't think it was amethyst, but they split it and then turned it into a large sphere. And I'm thinking to myself, you know what? If that was mine, I would have split the thing in half, opened it up like a butterfly, and then just display it like that. I hate it when people shape rocks. I think it ruins it. I mean, yes, technically this one is shaped because somebody polished the back of it, but you know, that's the side I look at, and that's the side that I think is really beautiful. But that's my Easter reference for today. It's an Easter egg shaped thing. It's also really cool when you hit it with a UV light because those little cracks they glow white when you hit them. You know me. I like my glowy rocks. You like this one? Yeah, this is a nice rock. This is a recent addition to my collection. In fact, it was funny. I was just wandering around the store, and then Kara came up to me, and I was just starting to look at this one, and she said, "Oh yeah, you're going to want to look at that one. Look at that. That's gorgeous. And there's like one point in here where there's a deep crevice, like right there. It goes deep inside the rock, and there's some really cool crystals in there. So yeah, that is a very cool specimen. You don't see something like that very often, do you? It weighs like 3 or 4 pounds. Keep the pretty side facing forward here. Get it set up just right so it's reflecting light in the camera. Oh yeah, I got a lot of very sparkly rocks. It makes me happy. I don't know if you saw this on the Facebook page last week, but um, last week on the live stream, I showed you those UV strips that I had for lighting up stuff and how they did pretty well with the uranium glass, but weren't as impressive as I was hoping they'd be for the rocks and minerals. So I've been kind of reserving them and using them to light up the uranium glass I have out there. So that's kind of cool. I think my definition of what my favorite is changes from time to time, but I'll show you some of my favorites. Hang on, we'll do a little rock show here. Charlotte wants to see sparkly. Look at the sparkly on that one. Definitely a cool one. And this one too. This one's got some really cool sparkly to it too. Get it into the light just right. A lot of sparkly on that. Let's see what's it's a princess rock. Yeah, it does have a lot of like pink and purple in it. I could definitely see it being called that. I'd have to look it up. What I've done is I put all of them on my Facebook page, and every time I get something from Kara, I have her write down exactly what it is so that I can properly identify it. So I have a page on my Facebook page for rocks and minerals, and there I've got every rock I have and the label of what exactly it is, so that when I do get to the point where I um, start building my case, I can build little um, little labels that say what everything is. Let's go find what else we got here. Some of my other favorite things. This is another favorite in the sparkly Princess Rock thing. This is called Lemurian quartz. And look at all those little quartz crystals in there. How awesome is that, huh? That's definitely one of the prettier pieces I have. And I mean, the little quartz crystals are just tiny. But that's a favorite. And that's a nice another there's a little sparkly one there, a lot of little bling on that one. Like I said, I like my kind of more natural rocks versus the ones that are all shaped. I do have a few shaped ones. You know, a lot of times they polish these things, and I don't know. I think you ruin it sometimes. Some of these things are more beautiful, you know, if they aren't polished. But this one's kind of cool because it glows green when you hit it with the UV light, so that kind of makes that kind of fun. I can't put that one on the table because it'll roll away. And this is a piece of something called Euperlite. And like I said, it's shaped like a pyramid. Not as into that one because it is shaped like a pyramid, but it has a really cool feature when you hit it with the black light. I'm still looking for a piece of raw Euperlite for my collection because you know this is cool because of what it does. But like I said, I would prefer to you know have just a raw piece of it. But I don't know, it still kind of caught my attention. I know that Kara has her eyes out for a raw piece of Euperlite for me. Oh, and then there's this thing here, and this thing's kind of cool. You got to get it just right, and then the layers in it kind of glow. There's a good example of how that glows. I had my eye on this one for a long time, and this one's polished. The rock doesn't come out of the ground looking like that, and they don't come out with a flat bottom like that. So, like I said, that would probably be very very cool if it wasn't completely you know if it wasn't completely polished. But whatever. Yeah, I got a couple of real pieces of amber. I think I showed you that a few weeks ago. You know, I've been wanting to find some amber with bugs in it after seeing Jurassic Park, and Kara knew that, so she kind of kept her eye open. So she's getting to the point now she knows what I'm into, and so she was saying last time I was there, it's like, oh yeah, we've got certain customers here that I'll see something and I'll automatically think, oh yeah, so and so is going to love that. Yeah, have a happy Easter, Black Dot. Great seeing you. It's always fun when you come in here. Yeah, I'll be installing those black LED strips that I have, at least under the area where the uranium glass is going, because the uranium glass seems to really pop with those black lights. The other minerals, not so much. It doesn't go as deep into the ultraviolet as I was hoping it would. I was figuring, 400 nanometers wavelength would probably just about hit it, but I think I got to go deeper than that. 380, 360, something like that to really make it pop. I don't know. What I need is a wavelength analyzer that'll tell me what this is doing, and then I can, try and find something that gets in the same range. But I guess I could probably also go with just a traditional blacklight tube because that would work pretty well. You bury a cup in your yard. Well, I thought they hauled out all the uranium. But I did show you the plates I got, right? I got a set of 9 plates that look like this. And I was just walking around the Cameron Trading Company with a black light just pointing at stuff. And I stumbled upon these. And these were just, they were all taped together, sitting on the floor in some insignificant corner. I don't even know if they knew what they had, but they're absolutely amazing when you hit them with a black light. I wish the camera would do a good job because it's all just kind of washed out. But you think of the green that you think of when you think of radiation. You know, I think the best example is like kryptonite in the movies, and that it's that color green. You know, it's kind of a yellow colored glass, and I don't, like I said, I don't even know if they knew what they had, and it was just in an insignificant. It wasn't marked as to what it was, and you know, you're really not supposed to be eating off of this, and so you know, somebody could have bought this not even knowing what it is, and ended up eating off of it. And that would not be good. So it's a good thing I brought it home and turned it into my collection, and it will just be enjoyed for being very beautiful. Like I said, I got 9 of those, so that's really cool. And I got the drinking glasses and the candelabras and the cocktail glasses. So I don't know, a lot of good stuff. I think my collection, though, the uranium glass is probably done. It isn't going to be like rocks and minerals where I keep collecting and collecting and collecting. Because I mean, let's face it, how many pieces of uranium glass do you really need, right? You know, or even like a little display cabinet or something like that. They look gorgeous. But I was surprised, you know, because I think I paid what $35 for those 9 plates, and you know, I got home and was like, okay, some of them's got to be chipped or something like that. No, they're all perfect. And that's probably what my collection will be now, is just me finding something cool, you know, at some store. I don't plan on you know, getting a whole bunch of that. You know, I'm going to buy more rocks, guaranteed. I'm hooked on that right now. But you know, I just wanted to have a couple of pieces of uranium glass just because I saw it. It was really cool, and I wanted to have a few. Wanted to have a few pieces for my own collection. And it's sort of the same way with me and rocks too. You know, it's got to be something that captures my attention. You know, I look at it and say, "Oh, that's gorgeous. I can't live without that." And I was spending an obscene amount of money on these things now. I guess it's good. I got a good job, huh? I'd be screwed. I'd be driving myself into the poorhouse. But you know, I kind of look at stuff like this as an investment too. I can always turn around and sell it. You know, as an individual piece or as a or even as a set. I mean, I even have this funny little crystal piece sitting on the light that usually has my skull on it. I just thought that looked really pretty, and I wanted to didn't really want to do anything with a skull on Easter. It just seemed inappropriate. So I put my Easter egg rock and my piece of quartz on the light. Well, I don't know if it's even an investment, but it's something of tangible value, because there's always going to be people that will pick up something like that. So it isn't a waste of money like buying a car or something like that that depreciates the moment you take it off the lot. But you don't have thousands of dollars worth of rocks, do you? Right now, I'm just a collector, though. You hear about all the time that it came from somebody's private collection. Yeah, this is my private collection. And I have sort of an obsessive collecting phase too, as you can tell with my guided by voices stuff here. There's certain things that I get into, and it's like Pokemon. I got to catch them all. I've never really seen train tracks as being a great place to find rocks. The rocks you see around train tracks tend to just be granite. You need something to basically hold the cross members in place so they don't move around when the track comes through. No, not Lowe's. No, I'll go to Home Depot. There's one of the things you may not know about Home Depot. Every store kind of specializes in one specific thing, and so the one that I go to oftentimes they kind of specialize in kitchen appliances, but there's another one in Waco that specializes in cabinets. And the only reason I didn't go with them the first time is I went there first because I was already against the idea of going to Lowe's and was already sort of informally boycotting them because of their other blunders. But I went out to this Home Depot, and turns out their interior decorator had resigned the day before, and so they just didn't have anybody and didn't know who I could go to, and so I reluctantly went to Lowe's, and yeah, we're done with Lowe's. Never again. Like the Holocaust, never again. But I will go to Home Depot, and Home Depot will get it done. And fortunately, this time I should be able to pay cash for it. So, there won't be any of this. Oh yeah, you're going to be paying this for the next, however many years. I think it just happened so fast that they hadn't had a chance to deal with it. But it's been like almost 2 years now. So I would assume that either they abandoned the idea of kitchen cabinets or found somebody else. And, if you invested a significant amount of your store floor location to, doing that, you're not going to just say, well, we lost our person. Okay, never mind. We're not doing that anymore. But I should hear about that in a couple of weeks here. So yeah, it definitely would have. Haven't thought about dinner yet. I don't know. We'll figure something out. Well, I mean, I've told the story of Lowe's before, but the problem I had with Lowe's wasn't really necessarily because of Lowe's themselves. It's because they didn't manage their vendor. And their vendor said they'd have stuff by a certain period of time, and they didn't check up with them, and they didn't follow up on it, and deadline came and went, a month came and went, and 2 months came and went, and I gave up on them. It's never coming. I'm not, and I wasn't going to keep paying them for something they hadn't done. I was thinking about the Instant Pot ribs again today. They were really good when we did that before. Yeah, that was the other part of it. They promised me at the time. I did a video where I played the audio recording of the voicemail from them, where they promised they'd give me an update every 3 weeks, and like 2 months had passed by, and I hadn't heard anything from them. And that was when I first found out there was a problem. And then I started, bothering them on a regular basis to the point where my sales representative kept handing me off to the manager. And, the manager wasn't doing anything. And then, I got so angry at the manager, I told him I was like talking to a brick wall, and he hung up on me. At that point, I started going to corporate, and corporate wasn't doing any good. And I finally just said, nuts to this. I'm done with it. Cancel it. And then they wanted to do restocking fees for something they never delivered. I'm not going to say it's all of Lowe's. It might have just been this one particular branch. Because I know when you talk to Jordan, he prefers Lowe's over Home Depot. He's had bad experiences with Home Depot. I've never had a bad experience with Home Depot. Yeah, I do agree with the customer. See, I'm really lucky right now. I really like my manager. We get along well. We have, and things that are in interest. He sees the value in me. I see the value in him. It's a good relationship. That's a big part of making a job worthwhile. It's hard work. I'll admit. I am running constantly when I get there in the morning. You know, it, I'm at work now at 6:15. I have to be there a long time before anyone else because I got to start getting everything ready and all that, and then I don't get to go home until the work is done. Sometimes we get to walk out with the rest of the employees at 7:30 at night, but a couple of weeks ago I was there till 10:30, and I had to be there at 6:15 the next morning. So it just um, yeah. See, that's a bad manager. Manager's job is to inspire his or her employees to perform the best possible. And if you don't have one that will even talk to you, then what chance do you have of being successful? Oh, move my rocks out of the way in case I have to go after a troll or something. We haven't had a troll in a long time. When Casher calls him a ray of sunshine when he walks in, and you all laugh. Yeah, I know the type. That's what I'm going for is jinxing you. But I mean, I agree with what I said. It's a manager's job to manage the people to hit the objectives of the company. And if the manager doesn't inspire the employees, it's never going to happen. All right, two down. Well, I mean, I sort of like going after the trolls. I have fun with them. You go look at some of the other, go look at Jordan on a live stream. He just blocks you the second you say something inappropriate. I'll block you and then insult you. I like to play with my food before I eat it. Well, I'm not going to make the cabinet, so um, that'll come with some professional. And they'll have to install them too. But I don't know the rock display case. It's just a matter of me getting the inspiration to do it because I gotta be kind of in the mood to do something like that. Well, especially a large scale project. This thing's going to be 8 feet long, and so projects like that, I got to really get in the mood for. This will be something on par with that table that I made on the back wall there. That must be why I don't see him on doing live streams very much. I'm always at work on Friday and Saturday. By the time I get home, I'm exhausted and just want to sit down and watch TV and drink a beer or three. What's the next step of the pool? I'm still kind of in a decision making mode. I am sort of leaning maybe towards getting rid of the pool a little bit. I don't know. I'm going to go into the summer. I'm going to see how big of a hole it leaves in my life because it is nice to go out and have a walk at night and then come home and hop in the pool for a little while. But it's so much money to keep it going. It's going to interfere with my rock purchasing here. Well, I mean, I'm going to go on record about the trolls. I don't use the word trolls. I use the word troll because it's one person. It's one idiot. That's why when it happened, you get like 5 or 6 different ones on the same day, and then you go months without seeing any of them. It's because there's one guy going from account to account to account to account. He has one account, he gets it blocked, he moves on to the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one. I mean, I remember one that happened a few years ago. It was I'm just going to make up a name because I don't remember what the name was, but I'm going to say his name was Dave, and Dave got himself blocked by saying something rude and obscene, and then a few minutes later, somebody logs on with the name Dave's mom, and Dave's mom is upset that I blocked Dave because Dave has special needs and blah blah blah, and it's like, yeah, you're just Dave with 2 different accounts. Yeah, no complaints. Although, like I said, I do miss being able to play with them a little bit. And I don't know if it's Rhonda's presence that scares them off, or the fact that I insult them and mock them and do it so publicly for after I block them so that they can't answer. But whatever. I guess I'd rather just talk to you guys. Yeah, it looks like Rhonda's checked out. It's probably time for me to check out too. We've hit the 2 hour mark. And Rhonda wants to feed the kids, and um, I got to figure out what I'm going to do today to keep myself busy. I got a thought, and so I'm going to go maybe experiment with that, and we'll see what goes on next. So I think that's the end of the live stream. Thanks everyone for watching. We had fun today. I'm glad we did this, and I'll see you again next week. Good night.